That's my fun. You're
now
torn
we're
up.
ready.
Come first in Japan.
That's right.
Women come second.
All right, here we go. It begins in 3, 2. Oh, okay. 3, 2, 1.
Calling Cape Calm. Cape Calm, this is Jupiter 16. Can you give a go for 4th orbit?
Cape Cod to Jupiter 16. Can you confirm O2 pressure is within limit?
Roger. Everything looks good in the environmental control system.
Okay. Everything looks good from here. You have...
Oh, he cut off like that.
Kill Bond. Now.
Okay.
This is Film Sack. Oh, sure.
Hello, and welcome to Film Sack. This is Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind, and this is episode 628. I'm Scott Johnson, joined today by Brian. Each time I see him, I whack his wooden leg just to make sure he's not faking it done away.
Oh, good thing you got the right one. Oh, hi. This week on Film Sack, we figure we only live once, maybe twice, when we sneak over to Amazon Prime. Hello, friend. Where have you been hiding? Maybe behind that empty cargo box watching this action spy thriller set in Japan from 1967 and waiting for your chance to shine for the big boss? Karate chop! Oh no, you hit my snooze button. Now tie me up and tell me what naughty things you're going to do to me. Safe word! I'm using the safe word! I'm hairy, like bird's nest. Anywho, welcome to my 1960s era government job. I hope you enjoyed the private train ride here to our underground spy spa. Rule number 1, never do anything for yourself when someone else can do it for you. And hey, looky here. We got us some half-naked and half-willing ladies on loan from Toho Studios who I hope are getting paid a lot more than scale to touch our yin-yang of body types. Of course, I guess they're probably used to pointing and screaming at a guy in a Godzilla suit. So, just another day at the office for these ladies. Am I right? And rule number 2. In Japan, men always come first. Women come second, and I'm sure that last statement will probably age like fine room temperature sake. Randy, we've been training all week to be ninjas. Good news! That's exactly how long it takes. And as you may recall, Vanilla Ice once said in a Turtles movie, go ninja, go ninja, go! Kissy Suzuka! Nope, Kissy Suzuki. Ouch! I burnt my lips.
Yeah, you did. You burnt mine. I burnt all our lips today.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Burn them.
Also with us today, Randy. This whole movie is like when Wallace from Wallace and Gromit would pull a lever and slide into his clothes and be ready for breakfast and stuff. Jordan.
Aloha, Scott, Brian, and welcome to the Insta Ninja School class of 1967. We love receiving visitors, as I'm sure you would imagine every ninja training school out in the middle of nowhere loves to do. You look Anglo, but don't worry, we'll make you look like an Anglo wearing a kimono in no time. And with Insta Ninja, everything will be painless. We won't even shave your chest after making a big deal of how hairy your chest, and it marks you as a non-Japanese from a mile away. Yes, here at Instant Ninja School, we do everything. As long as everything includes, number 1, speaking flawless English in rural Japan. That's right. You might think we'd be a little shaky on the language of the kinds of people we've been casting off our shores for centuries, but amazingly, we all got our O-levels in Derbyshire before going to work at the Toyota plant just south of Sheffield. A jolly good pip. Number 2, here at the Instant Ninja School, we do everything, as long as it includes shoot gun. You might think a gun so completely defeats all of our melee fighting practices that we just all switch to guns only. That's where you're wrong. See, we want to die. Number 3, here at the Instant Ninja School, we do everything, as long as everything includes arranged marriages, so that you can spend one night in a village you could have just camped outside of, and it wouldn't have made any difference at all. Instant Ninja arranged marriages. We'll make you a married man. See store for details. Bed gun not included.
Bed gun. I love a good bed gun. Nice. All right, finally with us. Brian, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to spend the final third of this film in a little white bikini ibit.
Oh, I know. Everybody else armor and full body suits. No, just you're gonna wear this little bikini. I've got I can't remember who predicted it, but somebody during the Tadpooligans did predict the song I was gonna use today for the Film Sack intro. So help me out here because I'm feeling the vapors.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just an agent. Takes girls to bed. Gone undercover. They think I'm dead. We got two guys to pretend to fill me full of lead. You've got some ninjas. They like to shout. They make loud noises. I have my doubts. I don't know what those crazy noises are about. I'm just an agent, chasing a bad guy with a cat on his lap. He made a spaceship that eats a spaceship. His name is Blofeld and he's so full of crap. He's got me hiding out and shanking up and getting hitched to sell the sitch. I'm turning Japanese, they got me turning Japanese to stop World War III. Turning Japanese, they got me turning Japanese for Yanks and Ruskies. Turning Japanese, they got me turning Japanese, they shaved my chest hair. Turning Japanese, they got me turning Japanese, I really don't care. There's red team, blue team, yellow team, white team, all being led by a guy with a big fluffy cat. Nobody can see me cause I'm wearing all gray. Nobody but Blofeld, but I'll get him today on a monorail. That's why I'm turning Japanese, they got me turning Japanese, they changed my hairstyle. Turning Japanese, they got me turning Japanese to live in exile. Turning Japanese, they got me turning Japanese, I can't go shirtless. Turning Japanese, they got me turning Japanese, that can't turn shitless.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, I love how that song
Blofeld.
So, yeah, as I'm writing these, there's a little music video playing in my head of like the scenes, the things I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And I wish I had the time to sit down and make a whole music video for for the song to like show the scenes as I sing about it. Except I did, and I do.
Did you?
And
What?
for our Patreon level members.
No way. This has a whole video.
$1 starting. Jeez.
Because I think YouTube will definitely have a problem with this. If they don't like the songs I put in the shows, they're definitely not going to like the videos.
Clips.
Oh my gosh. All right. Can't wait to see this after the show.
This is just for our friends. That's how I always think about it. I'm like, it's not copyright prize. This is just a local exhibition for our friends.
Exactly. It's like we're sharing cassette tapes, mixtapes between us, basically. Is what
I just want to let you know, like you're a Marvel. We love this so much. You can give us this kind of thing a few minutes before the show.
Oh,
and
you
then
want to see it before?
I'm not going to spend the entire episode struggling with not hitting play. I want to watch this so bad.
I thought about it, but I just couldn't do it.
I'm glad you didn't.
I want you to hear the lyrics and hear the song for the first time.
I'm 100% going to watch this when we're done. This looks fantastic.
Yep.
Now I know why you were asking that question you were asking me yesterday.
Yes, now you know.
Now
it's not
I
just
get
to capture the little clip of the that cat struggling and like
that poor kitty.
held by poor Donald Pleasance. That thing. I hope he's got armor under that Nehru jacket of his.
I also didn't like how he petted the cat faster when things got stressful. It was like,
I liked it.
That poor cat, dude.
Give me more.
Leave that cat alone.
Poor cat.
Let's let Scott Fletcher explain the film so that we can. And by the way, I haven't heard this version of Scott Fletcher or Fake Fletcher. So this is a thing I generated but didn't listen to. So it may be all effed up. I don't know, but that'll be fun to hear in real time. So this is for the movie You Only Live Twice. Here's the explanation.
You only live twice! James Bond and the Japanese Secret Service must find and stop the true culprit of a series of space hijackings before war is provoked between Russia and the United States. This movie is racist!
What do you do to make it get so loud and like clippy?
I
Like,
didn't do anything. That's the funny thing about it. So this is a
it's
voice.
evolving. You're doing. There's
I
something.
promise you, I'm
happening.
not doing anything.
The AI is learning. I think it's learning.
Maybe.
There's
So-
there's a level of like what is it? Confusion, or like there's a little slider you get of make him sound more out of control.
Well,
or
here it
less out
is.
of control.
So this is a voice for those at home wondering. This is a voice trained on Mario, and all I get is yahoo, woohoo, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a very bad interpretation of Mario, which is why I kept it. There are voice settings. One is stability, one is clarity, and one is style exaggeration. I have all of those set to standard for that one. I would have to take it way down to like no exaggeration, because right now it's in the middle.
Right.
If I took it down to no, he would probably be a little bit more subdued. Actually, we can test it. Let's just try this.
Well, it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys use Chat GPT in here or not, but I mean, when you start a thread, it learns in that thread. So the more times you ask it to do something, the more it consistently does in that thread.
But that's
So is
all
that
in
the
one
same way?
session. This is like over weeks and weeks.
Well,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Well, I can open a thread on Chat GPT and it'll stay open forever.
and
just
it'll,
keep
and
going back
it'll
to that same thread.
gotcha. Like if you keep it open, sure. All right. That
yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah,
it
just leave
saves
it
them
right
all
open,
if you're
keep
logged
them
in or whatever. But so, all right. So while we were talking, I generated a new one with all those settings turned to like the most basic. Okay. Which is
Right.
not the default. Default's in the center. So let's see what that sounds like.
You only live twice. James Bond and the Japanese Secret Service must find and stop the true culprit of a series of space hijackings before war is provoked between Russia and the United States. This movie is racist.
So that is a lot more like just baseline, right?
Yeah.
Unlike this,
Plus,
You only live.
right? Like,
Yeah.
all right.
I would assume there's also I'm assuming that the AI, when it learns something, it keeps it beyond that particular session as well. I mean, because if 100 different people ask that same question, I would assume if a model is designed well, considering that it would keep getting weirder.
Yeah, but
and
it's
weirder,
only
right?
mine.
Maybe.
This is not a public one. Nobody has access to this voice but me. So I don't know how that would work. It may still be that. It still may be true between me and the model, right? Like the model's
Right.
still learning every time I use it.
I didn't mean to turn this into an AI discussion. But
That's true.
That's
you
interesting.
only live twice. That's not enough times to live to talk about AI during a film sack episode. No, that's the movie. We got a Lewis Gilbert directed, Sean Connery starred Bond film. This is one I hadn't seen ever, so this was all new to me.
Really?
I was
Cool.
talking about this earlier with some people. They were like, "Oh, what do you think about that James Bond?" I never watched James Bond intentionally. I've seen an ass ton of James Bond by flipping the TV, flipping around. Oh, what's on? This one is, and so that's where I would start watching that particular movie of James Bond. And so I have like this sprinkling of James Bond throughout my life, and only till we started doing this on Film Sack have I made a concerted effort to watch the movie and actually watch it.
See,
And if you
this
only,
thing,
if
yeah.
you only watch things while flipping, then you always get the
Right.
ends of things, right? So like you've seen all the endings of all the James Bond movies, but maybe
Right.
that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Unless you
Yeah,
had to duck in and duck out even of that, right? Like you got, I'll
Right.
come in where for some reason they're fighting on jet skis, and then I have to leave an hour, 20 minutes before how this thing ends, and then you see another James Bond movie, even with a different James Bond actor, and you kind of start meshing these together. I know that's what I've done. Like I have, For all I know, this was Octopussy. You could have told me, and I would have believed.
It's like you think you think about
anything.
it more in segments, right? Like, oh yeah, the skiing while or shooting while he's skiing segment, or the underwater with a shark segment. You think about that as opposed to the whole process of the film.
Yeah, especially stuff from you saw when you were a kid. So I think you're a lot. I think we're a lot like that way, Dunaway. I think I did a similar sort of thing growing up.
I think, and this informed more about my understanding of Austin Powers than any so far. Even though Goldmember was more like Goldfinger, this one seemed to inform more of the character in ways that I didn't realize.
There were stereotypes here, like Blofeld's performance in this, which is way more on camera than usual. Usually, it's like always sort of hidden. You're not even
Well,
sure
this
who
is the
actor
first
is.
time. Yeah, this
Below
is the
his
first
face.
time we see Blofeld.
Right. So it's the first
His
time
face,
he even
we see
shows
his
a
body.
stupid face and his dumb scar. And
I love it.
I feel like that stuff is the grassroots freaking seedlings of Dr. Evil or any
Oh God,
any
it's
other
straight up
stereotype.
Dr. Evil. When I saw him, I was like, oh, there's Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
There he is.
It's not even the seedlings. That is the trunk of the Dr. Evil tree.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and there are a lot of, and it isn't even just Dr. Evil. There's lots of other variations on this theme, including other Bond villains who just sort of lift from it. The one with Roger Moore where he throws Blofeld down a smokestack in the first 5
that's
minutes.
The beginning.
Spoiler.
For Your Eyes Only, is it?
For Your Eyes Only, yeah. I was trying to think. Sheena Easton sings right after that happens, and it's For Your Eyes Only.
And I remember, so now I look back on that, and I think that is a really unceremonious thing to do in your first 5 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get your big bad.
We've been building up to Blofeld's character for the last 2 movies, at least the last one movie, right?
And it's all out of order with the books, and Fleming had died, and there's just there's all sorts of things that make the movies weird or the books weird, depending on your perspective.
Which way you're coming at it, yeah.
Really, it's kind of wild that this movie introduces Blofeld finally after we've seen and heard him sing his hand and heard him whereas in the books this is the end of Blofeld. This is he does not make it past this book, and and this book comes much later. If you were reading the books in movie sequence,
you would know that if you asked Roald Dahl.
Oh yeah, why is Roald Dahl a co-writer on this? Anyone figure this out?
Because they brought him in because he's friends with Ian Fleming, and he had actually written another spy novel, The Bells of Hell Go Ting-a-ling-a-ling.
Right. Yeah.
Oh no, that's
he
just another. That's just another screenplay that he had written.
Okay,
that was the only.
That's the only screenplay he'd ever written. Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking.
Friends with benefits.
He's written more than
I know you've never finished a screenplay before, but the movie was never even finished. 1969 American film. Death Wears Thy Sting-a-ling-a-ling, starring Gregory Peck, Ian McKellen, and Maria Grazia Buccella.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Spy movies, thanks to James Bond, had hit an all-time high by the time this one came out. There was this
all-time high.
Yeah, there was peak of that stuff going on. Right?
Oh yeah,
so everybody was getting in the business.
Yeah, for sure. This is okay. So just speaking an overall tone here, I like this more than the last 2, and I don't know why.
Oh,
I liked it more.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
It had all the formula.
I'm not sure why. I can't explain it. I know that I'm wrong. Really. Honestly, I kind of know I'm wrong. But for whatever reason,
you're free to like what you like.
Team Dunaway Johnson today. Then looks like
something about it. I can't even put my finger on it. Maybe it is because the Blofeld thing blew up, and it was like, this really is a mustache twisting villain type. And we don't get those.
This had the best stunts of any of the James Bonds we've saw so far. So the fight scenes were incredible, and the stunts were amazing, and they really took the action to the next level.
It also felt like just better pacing to me than the last couple, like less downtime, less weird, awkward pauses between crescendo moments, that sort of thing. I also thought, so I think the theme song that's always typical in these things is terrible. I think it's really bad. But I love the.
Oh God! I think this is where I also disagree.
This is my favorite theme song so far.
Really?
Of the ones we've watched.
Yeah. And I would put
not
this
Tom
as
Jones Thunderball.
No, I would put this as this and From Russia with Love as being 2 of the 4 best James Bond themes.
See, that is interesting. So my takeaway is that where they, how during the whole movie they integrate the theme into just regular thematic music.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Yeah. That I love. All right. So don't this is why it's such a weird twist for me, because I think the moment to moment theme in this movie is some of the best ever and really good.
Yeah.
But the actual song at the beginning that they replay at the end is shit town USA garbage poo.
And that's my thing. My thing about this movie is there's something for everyone to hate in this movie, and that's why I end up falling on the side of, well, I'm glad I'm never going to watch that again. There's just something to hate. I can't watching this with my 13-year-old son. Oh my God, it was
how do you do?
I just guys, it's. And also the book is really good in my opinion of the books. This is a really good book because it's so in the heads of the characters. There's a lot of discussion. There's so much about, sort of like pulling back the curtain on Japan, which is something that can only happen after World War II, blah, blah, blah. And like, this movie is just like, oh, James Bond's kissing another woman, like just another woman that he just met. Like, okay.
The femme fatale, and
he's into it. Yep.
How many? I want somebody to give me a count. How many different women does James Bond try to lay
in this movie?
Super easy if you watch that TV special. Did you guys
count
catch the TV special?
You're talking about the 1 hour trailer, basically, that was like
the 1 hour the 1 hour trailer that was like, it was all like, in case you've forgotten about Bond, we're gonna have Moneypenny talk about all the women he could have slept with,
right,
or done, or married. Yes.
In your count, Randy, are you counting like the 4 women who bathe him, and then the 7 women who apply prosthetics?
Right. How many of those do you think he made out with, and/or they touched genitals?
I think they showed us every. I think they showed us every touch genital in this 3 per movie. Yeah, 3 per
I
movie.
Think you got
every
the 3.
movie.
You got the femme fatale, the redhead. You got Aki, and then you got Kissy Suzuki. And I think that your formula is 3.
Well, the movie starts with him in bed with a woman.
Yeah,
but it starts with a woman getting out of bed. Okay, so 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's 4. Well, although didn't she?
All right.
She didn't show up later again, right?
No. But let's talk about this whole thing, because I think the whole fake Bond's death is such an unnecessary plot point.
It's weird
because Blofeld he's already done the spaceship eating the capsule thing pre-credits, or pre-seeing Bond getting shot and killed. So what is the point of him faking his death? Because, like you said, they could have just airdropped him over to that island.
They don't know what he looks like anyway. What does it matter if he's dead?
Yeah,
and they could just say, oh yeah, James Bond is dead, because the 2 guys who come in must know that they're shooting blanks. The 2 guys that come into the thing and shoot him up. The guy who checks his pulse has to know he still has a pulse. So who's actually in on it?
Right. It wasn't even clear to me that the shooters were, and how do we know those were blanks? Because they were leaving holes in that bed. Like they
that's true. Yeah, they weren't blanks, and you were seeing holes even go through the bed when they pulled the Murphy bed down, and there are holes in the wall behind it.
Yeah, I assumed that he was wounded but not dead, and that he recovered. I don't know.
It's an awfully big risk to say we're going to fake your death. You're probably just going to be wounded.
Yeah, I don't think they faked. No one faked his death. I thought that there was an attempt, and then they decided to roll with it and go, "Oh, they attempted. Let's convince them."
That would make more sense to me. That would make more sense to me. However, if you're going to do that and you're going to dump a body and it's going to go to the bottom of the ocean and then you're going to retrieve it,
they
left so many questions for me.
Yeah,
it was a witness protection program kind of thing.
I will only say this 17 more times this episode. The book makes so much more sense than the movie, because in the book, you're nearing the end of James Bond tangling with Blofeld and the entire organization, and they've tangled so much that you have to fake his death and make it an international incident in order for him to even get into where Blofeld is, the area, and so forth, without anybody thinking it's him. And so, what?
Go ahead.
I'm just saying.
Roald Dahl said it sucked. Go ahead.
Yes,
but all of that could have been done just with the newspaper article. Like the dude who's sitting there watching the Navy toss a mummy into the ocean.
Right.
Doesn't have to be Bond in that. It could just be a mannequin or something. Who cares?
Except again, in that timeline of the books, right? Like they're concerned that there are people in the English military that have turned on them, and so they need those people to be convinced. They need everyone who might observe to be convinced that Bond is actually dead.
That include coroners and people who say cause of death and all of this.
Conspiracy has a lot of people in it. That's the funny thing about these kinds of stories. But but like in the book, like I don't understand why they didn't just follow the book more. They, and have Blofeld live instead of die. Like that's it. Seems
Roald
like
Dahl just said he hated the story. That's just the play. That was the answer. Roald Dahl
we don't see Blofeld die. We see him. Oh, I seriously make it like the book where you see Blofeld die, as opposed to where he just zips off in a monorail after getting a shuriken in his sleeve.
So wait a minute. This Roald Dahl thing. What Dunaway? What is his deal? He hated the original story. If someone wanted to change it, or he hated what?
He hated the book. Roald Dahl said the book sucked. He said,
his quote was
he-
Fleming's worst book with no plot in it,
Worst
which would
book.
even make a movie.
Boy, you better
Yeah,
be good
yeah, so
friends
he had-
to say shit like that about your friends.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's dark.
Yeah, so that's the reason why it's nothing like the book, because Roald Dahl didn't want it to be anything like the book.
Okay.
Made his own
Such
thing.
an interesting person to find out is involved in a James Bond movie.
It really
Yeah.
is. Like,
I know. And where was his giant peach at? Not even
Yeah,
in it. I
not
don't even
there.
get it.
Nowhere
you
in
imagine
there.
like the guy who created Wonka and the guy who created James Bond just sitting there having coffee someday, like, a bowl of cornlords or something.
Yeah, not
They were
since
both-
what's his name? The Lord of the Rings. I can't think of his name.
No, J.R. Tolkien.
J.R.R. Tolkien hanging out with dude what made the Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe stuff. Those were same kind of
Oh, yeah,
relationship. It was
yeah.
like this crazy
Yeah.
close friendship, but they had a lot of different ideas in each other. It reminds me of that.
Yeah. Occupying the same space, might as well get around and talk. Hey, how's it going? What
Pissy,
you doing? Yeah.
pissy British author friendships is what it is. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And
okay.
all three were in the military. Dahl was a pilot. Ian Fleming was in the Navy, the Royal Navy, and I'm forgetting what Tolkien. So Tolkien served in like World War I or something. Tolkien was an army guy.
Yeah.
I guess everybody was in the war, right?
Yeah, he was in the Battle of Minas Tirith, is my understanding.
Makes me wonder who Stephen King is or was friends with. Like,
Oh, right? Like, that'd be great. What's his...
that
who's
old
his,
guy, Dr. Seuss, came over to hang out with Stephen King, young Stephen King.
Oh, that would be great. You guys ever seen Dr. Seuss's adult work? You ever seen his adult
Yeah,
stuff?
oh, yeah. Like, his
Yeah.
anti-war stuff during World War II is crazy. So different than what you think of. I mean, it turns out these are just people who don't necessarily live childhood stories all day. I don't also, okay, so we talked about the death and how it's kind of not needed, and I agree. Also,
Yeah.
I guess it's, part of the name of the book.
And
so.
even the whole making him appear to be Japanese, that's just basically to get on the island from which they'll paddle out to Blofeld's island. Again, they could have gotten him there. Another little Nelly could have gotten him out there.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how many contrivances these people come up with for something that solves itself, whether they do it or not.
That's what
Right.
I
It's
think
just
I
like-
liked about it, and hear me out, because I know this is going to sound weird, and I don't mean that it's good, but my enjoyment was more on the level of what we got with. I felt like Roger Moore's James Bond movies are a little bit more like this, where it was a little bit out there, like do a bunch of shit you don't really need to do, but it's for fun and it's all going to pay out in the end. And this movie felt like they were doing that more, and I think it's strictly just tied to my childhood. Like, that's just how I see James Bond.
That's
Whereas,
probably what we did.
as much as I love I love the Daniel Craig stuff. I like the more serious takes and everything, and I've enjoyed these rewatches. But this is the first one in the rewatches where I feel like they're letting the seriousness go a little bit, and they're just sort of like, it's a
ninjas for
cigarette
Pete's
with
sake.
a
Be over
rocket
the
in
top.
it.
Oh, those ninjas too.
Yeah, the ninjas.
No
all
one,
of it.
no one had really seen ninjas on film in the West until this came out. And it's like, what are these things? I can't wait
Right,
for the
yeah.
80s.
Oh yeah, right. That's true. That's true. Like, how much?
Yeah, we hadn't gotten the completely black with just the eyes showing kind of ninjas until later, right after this.
No.
So
I'm trying to
No,
think.
we
if
got
that,
dive suit ninjas in this one instead.
it's like Australia. Nobody knew it existed until Paul Hogan came around.
That's right.
So
It
funny.
felt like it.
We didn't know
anyway.
anything about knives until he came along.
That's
it was
right.
amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing
that's not a
time.
knife. I learned. This is a knife. I learned.
Yeah.
This is interesting. The volcano that they had there at the end, the big set, that cost nearly as much as Dr. No, which was the 1962 thing. Their entire budget was as much as this volcano. It was so large it could be seen from 3 miles away. Now I have a question about that. A little bit of scrutiny, if you will.
sure.
Let me play that.
Scrutiny.
Nothing about what they showed with that volcano when it was exploding looked like an expensive thing to me. That looked like
I think you're probably talking
when it
about
was
the
exploding-
inside. I think about the inside set, right? The inside the
that
volcano. I
what
don't
they
think they're
mean?
actually talking about the
Sure.
volcano.
And if you're talking about inside set, they're not going to create an actual volcano on the outside. So what are you seeing from 3 miles away? A building? Great.
Right, a volcano.
I mean, was Blofeld
Speculation.
was Blofeld just holding back a river of lava and then set it free? Is that how that thing erupted? That made
I
no
think
sense.
that was just stock footage of a volcano erupting, wasn't it? Is that not?
There was
happening.
there was some footage of like
Oh.
some volcano. Yeah, it was at the very beginning and the very end. There was just
Okay.
like some volcano.
And it sure looked like talking about projection screen. It looked like they were projecting lava on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, my favorite trivia on here, 100% without question, is this: the henchman Bond fights in the office early on is a Samoan pro
that
wrestler.
guy's so great.
His name is the High Chief.
High Chief Peter Maivia.
Yeah, he is
He
the
is the
grandfather of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yep,
Oh,
and
really? Oh, that's cool.
I
the
did
instant
not
he
know that.
appears, my wife says, "Ooh, that looks like The Rock," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "That's The Rock's
Really?
grandpa." Right
Freaking
there.
grandfather. I know, right? I didn't know this till I looked
boulder.
at it later, but the boulder.
boulder.
That's less of a, I don't know. Yeah, what is a primordial rock? It's more like
Right.
a boulder.
Well, his dad
I've
was a
told you-
wrestler, of course, but yeah.
I've
His
told
dad
you
was
before. My
stone.
kid had a friend at school a couple years ago that looked like a little kid version of The Rock, and they called him the
yeah.
Pebble.
Pebble.
The
yeah.
pebble. Oh, that's amazing.
great.
I like that. He can graduate later,
man.
like everybody does. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't realize that though. That's interesting because that was one of the best fight scenes, and was also the continuing the established that Bond is not a he doesn't have necessarily the best fighting skills, but he thinks his way out of most of it. He can generally he's thinking faster than the other guy. Essentially, he doesn't work on reflex or anything.
Usually the process is the big guy comes, James hits him,
Yes.
realizes that he's not making a dent, like that the guy is just laughing off his attacks, and then he has to get creative with the way he takes him out. And that's
And I love the whole idea of how they run it through the movie, that the English are superior because of their unique angle on thought of, we could come in here with a bunch of helicopters. That's how the Americans do it. Let's come in with some kind of Nelly thing to everybody underestimate and,
Right.
be weird about it. And that's how we solve it.
The whole the English is better thing is like the best
Yeah.
in the geodesic dome of United
Yes.
Nations, where you've got the three tables, none of which are pointed at each other. They're all side by side, which is great.
Oh,
And
are you
then-
talking about the Siberian Epcot Center? I love
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Exactly, yes. Where basically it's like, well, here in America, we're just going to blow it up. And then the Russians
touch
go,
our
we'll
stuff.
blow
We'll
you
still
up. We'll blow you up. And then you say, both of you, please calm down. Maybe if you look over the Sea of Japan, you'll see what happened there.
Did anyone else wonder why they just didn't hire some American actors to play the generals in the Pentagon?
I mean, yes, I did.
Because they were
wonder that.
struggling so hard.
Yeah.
Those guys, every time they had a line, it was like you could tell, oh, he was just rehearsing that in the mirror. That guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my
That,
gosh.
and the whole Cape Cod scene of those guys all trying to be very American, standing around smoking their cigarettes and just being all American was just, it was fun. It was fun seeing the outside take on what we look like.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think there was a looseness to this that I enjoyed, and the looseness is not good technically, right? There's a technical problem across the board. Rumors are on set it was really tense between Connery and the producers. It says even what does it say? The relationship between Sean Connery and the producers deteriorated to the point that he refused to act if they were anywhere near set. So, like, if there was like a producer on
He was
set,
pretty much done here.
Connery's
Well, and that's going to
to
ultimately be my big complaint about this movie. I could see through it the entire movie, and I'm not saying Sean Connery's at fault here. I thought he did an amazing job of portraying this character without portraying his own concerns. I was ready to see him sort of like sneering at the producers through the camera.
Yeah.
He never did that. He was so in character, amazing by Sean Connery. But the entirety of the film, I was just constantly feeling like, oh, nobody wants this to be great.
Didn't they also
they're
think
not-
this was supposed to be like his last Bond movie, right? It wasn't, but it was.
Well, so
Yeah, it was
so
supposed to be.
as far as he was concerned,
Yeah.
right? As far as the producers were concerned, they were going to get him to come back.
Okay.
Like they even in the movie, like they were trying to write it in a way that they were causing Sean Connery's mouth to say words that would indicate that he was going to come back.
Okay.
I like that you were seeing that, and I was just seeing all these Asian actors from Toho Studios getting a chance to be in a Bond film. And I saw a lot of
To be seen and not heard, you mean?
Kind of.
yeah, actually be seen and heard. They were both Kissy Suzuki and Tanaka. Oh my god, I want to see a spinoff of Tiger Tanaka and his crew. I wanted to see a whole movie. Just forget Bond. I wanted to see a whole movie with those guys doing their own spy
That guy's
stuff.
known for
It was
some
so
really
interesting.
really cool Japanese stuff in his career, but not a lot of American stuff. You know, this well, not that. No, sorry, not English. English is what I mean, not American. But he did like The Outlaw Samurai, amazing old movie.
Yes.
Seventh Dawn,
Yes.
Hirikari, like some really big deal stuff for that dude. And then this just felt like, all right, well, usually we have that American CIA guy. He's not here right now, so it's this guy. And he's got ninjas.
Yeah.
And
I loved his character though. I really did want to see more.
I'm trying to remember if we see
Osada?
him, not Tiger Tanaka. It's the other one, right? Asada.
Mr. Osada, one that was like kill him.
Mr. Osato is the older one.
Carne Asada. That's him.
Right.
Yep.
Carne Asada.
Teru Shimada is his name. Teru Shimada.
Teru, yeah.
Teru Shimada.
Yeah, that guy was born in 1906, died in 88, and lived a nice long life.
Good job. You did good.
I
Good
don't
job,
remember him from anything except maybe a weird, like, I have some old, like, Hawaii Five-0 memories. I have a feeling he was on there.
Yeah.
A lot of Japanese actors ended up on Hawaii
probably
5-0.
MASH.
Yeah, probably MASH, too. Good point.
Yeah.
Probably shut up on MASH.
Akiko is amazing though. I should play Akiki in this one.
Aki.
Akiko Wakabayashi.
Aki was the hero of the movie. And
Yes.
it was very strange to me that at some point it just like leaves Aki behind, and that's it.
We're know
like,
she
we're
just
done with her.
unceremoniously killed her by rolling over. I hated that. That broke my heart.
Yeah,
they always do that.
Man, that whole poison string trick. It's like
that's cool.
It's really cool, but man, is that you've really got to have some aim. Clearly, you've got to tickle the nose to the point where the person you're trying to kill opens their mouth.
Yeah, I've only seen that used twice in films. First time was Grosse Point Blank, the kill he's on during the first part of the movie. He's doing this, and then I thought that was an anomaly, but I guess this is a thing. People get this is how you get poisoned, and why not? That was gnarly. But I don't know. Again, she died needlessly because the whole ruse of him being there and having this stupid wedding and looking Japanese. What a waste of time. Like, why are you?
Well,
wait.
Somebody had to die. That character was already written to die. That's just something that was part of the formula. One of the Bond girls has to die. At least two of the Bond girls have to die. One survives. Right?
That's usually true, right? Karen Dor and Akiko, they're gonna die, and then Kissy, freaking Kissy.
I love Kissy Suzuki. That's just amazing.
I feel like we might be confusing his many wives in this movie.
Aki, right? Aki is the agent that helps him at the beginning, drives him off, and then makes him chase her to slide down the little metal slide into the chair.
Oh,
right.
Okay, I have it mixed up.
Kissy
Then
Suzuki is the one who marries him.
Who's the one that dies in the? That's Aki dies. No,
Kissy Suzuki dies.
Wait,
Aki comes back to fight with him at the end, like to discover
No, Kissy's there the whole time at the end.
Kissy's the one who dies. Isn't she the one who dies because she?
Aki is the one that. No. That's Kissy that comes along later. Aki is the one that dies in the bed. With the string.
That's what I thought.
But I thought it was she's the one who marries him is Kissy Suzuki, and she dies.
They both marry him, right? And then that doesn't work, so he has to get the other one, or they're planning on. Aki is trying to marry him. That doesn't happen,
and that doesn't happen. And
right?
Then
Randy, you're the fourth party. You've got to break this tie.
No, I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing because I'm telling you, this movie is trying so hard to make sure that James Bond is with lots of different women that it has to start killing them off. The one he marries that sneaks him into the island at the end, she ends up getting shot at while swimming, and I just love that she doesn't die in that.
Yeah, okay.
She doesn't die in that sequence, but they like make it like she died out there, and I'm just like, man, this movie just wants to kill these women so bad. You know, like they unceremoniously dump Helga Brandt, and they call her number 11 in this movie. They unceremoniously dump her into a pond of piranha. And I love that. Right, I love it. Right
last
before
time
with the sewing machine foot pedal, which I really like.
Oh
right
yeah,
before
that
she
was
died,
great. That was great.
Right before she died, number 11 did a number 2, and and it's just like what? Why did we like we even brought Miss Moneypenny over, which was that's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, the mobile MI6 office, that was great.
Geez,
great.
Yeah.
I was like,
which is
we're all the
always
whole
set
gang's
up
here.
like who goes through and sets up every one of M's offices to look exactly the same. How long does he spend in the
Who do you
submarine
think
office to where he needs all that stuff in there?
Moneypenny runs everything, man. She's the
runs
one to
it,
make
but
sure.
she's not installing the bookcase and bringing all of his books from his main office into his temporary submarine office.
So here's my explanation.
I like the train way better though.
My overall explanation, you can take it or leave it. Let me know if you don't like it. Is that at some point someone figured out Sean Connery can only ever have chemistry with women. If you put Sean Connery face to face with a male actor, it sucks. And so we're just going to have Sean Connery. We're just throw women and throw a woman into the scene. Sean Connery's trying to get away. He jumps into a moving car. There's a woman driving it, like every single time. And that's
it's a good theory.
Best explanation.
It's a good theory because even his time with Tiger Tanaka, his time. That's a great example. To walk around with Tiger Tanaka, you never feel like James Bond like fully trusts and respects this guy. It's like, when we go into more for more women, like when can we do another spa day? And
it's just so every hero needs to have an Achilles heel, and Sean Connery's character James Bond is women. That's the thing. That's his only flaw, right? Other side is ego.
And like we can come up with a lot of flaws for James Bond.
We'll get more flaws when we start getting into the Roger Moore stuff. But I mean, you look at this film; he's trapped in the plane because he trusts a woman. He's.
But here's the thing: a woman. So Helga Brandt is trying to kill him. Yeah. She ends up making out with him and handing him a deadly knife. Yeah. And so all he had to do, a man with a license to kill, is slit her throat at that moment, and everything's better. The whole he converts World War III then if he does that.
Early on.
And what's the very next thing she does? She tries to kill him again. Like, what? Yeah. How is he this bad at being a spy with a license to kill?
Yeah. There was a little bit
James Bond calls this Willie. Curious,
Jimmy.
It seems to drive.
I don't know,
Jimmy.
but he prefers it shaken, not stirred.
Yeah.
Right. I think he likes it hairy and not shorn. I think is what he also said.
Oh, don't you know Sean Connery just has a hedge down there? Sean Connery is like seriously. Sean Connery, you can't see.
If
he still
the
has
basement's anything like the upstairs, it's definitely going to be hairy.
That's right.
He is a
bird won't make
man.
a nest in a bare tree.
Yeah. Every time I see some woman cozying up on him, and
philosophy for no reason in Japan. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really weird. By the way, they really nailed how an early morning foggy Hong Kong skyline looks. I've been there during a time that was like that, and they nailed that. I mean, I guess that was Hong Kong. So
loved
not hard.
the city stuff. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was good. It was all right. I want a bedroom where there's a black button on the wall that sends that hideaway
flips
bed.
up the Murphy bed.
Yeah, I want that. And then I also want the slide. I want a floor that gives way, and I want to slide down and land into a chair and have a meeting with Tiger Tanaka.
Have you ever been Have you ever been captured in a more fun way?
That'd be an amazing way to get caught, right? Like,
wee.
And he,
at first you're like, oh no, you're like, wee.
Yeah, you start scared, you wee the rest of the way. That's how you do it. There's another bit of trivia here. This rocket pistol. So they usurped Q's normal role in this movie, and they gave it to Tiger Tanaka and all his gadgets, which is a little bit weird. But that rocket pistol and cigarette rocket were real life weapons that were. This, according to the trivia, have some scrutiny probably. that were featured after the manufacturer paid for the product placement. It was hoped that they would become standard military and intelligence equipment. However, they proved to be too expensive. For example, ammunition cost 3 times as much as normal ammo. They were clumsy, useless at any distance over 15 yards, despite what they said in the film, and unreliable, horribly inaccurate, and tended to start fires. So they ceased production.
Whoa, Nelly.
Yeah.
Having a pistol cigarette, a cigarette that shoots an explosive.
Yeah.
Apparently, when you possess that, it turns you into a stupid idiot who aims it at the lowest value target in the room.
Yep.
Right.
That's one of the side effects
I'm
of
going to
using
use
that
it to
rocket.
distract them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like gadget use in Bond movies, but I was a little bummed that Llewellyn in his usual role as Q got kind of shoved to the side here a little bit.
He just shows up.
Pay
and they do
attention.
that
I've
fast-
just really got a helicopter for you that's going to assemble itself in a weird montage.
Boink, boink,
Yeah.
boink, boink.
It was a little sad.
I enjoyed that. I actually really thought that little sequence was awesome.
Where like they start assembling it and then it just goes, you hear like metal clanging and then a new piece is on there and clank and then a new piece is on there.
Yeah. It was. I found it to be
That was an
annoying.
interesting
enjoyed that.
filming technique. I was trying to think if I had seen that before.
Yeah,
in a
and
movie
cartoons
before
and
then.
stuff. This is the Roald Dahl part. He's just like, use your imagination. It just comes together like a transformer.
Yeah.
That
And
doesn't-
then
Actually,
Nelly
that does.
assembled
Now that you say that does feel very Roald Dahl. Yeah.
yeah, there's something about that. Speaking of which, the aerial stuff, the unit cameraman for all aerial shots, John Jordan, no relation to Randy as far as I know, lost his leg while working on this film. So this movie had a tragedy in it where a dude got his leg hacked off in an accident.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's no good. Nobody wants that.
Lost it, huh? You say where did they ever find it?
They never. I bet they did. They probably found it and probably weren't able to do shit with it because it was the 60s.
Right.
So
It was the 60s.
no leg for you, sir.
There's a whole bunch of trivia about the guy who invented that one-person helicopter and how he brought it over to Japan so they could film using it, and there was only one person who could fly it, and they made that person look as much like James Bond as possible, and so on. And I'm just like watching this movie asking, why would Q come over with this incredibly weird machine and not bring a pilot? Why does James Bond have to fly this thing? I don't understand.
Yeah.
What is this MI6? It doesn't seem like much of an organization.
I know. They seemed more adept to converting the home office into a boat for a minute than they were at solving any world crime. They just seem to be a little bit stupid in this.
His name is no, sorry, never mind. I can't find the name of the guy who invented this thing.
Larry Gyro.
It's a real working thing. It's an impressive little vehicle, right?
Oh, I'd love something like that to be able to kind of zip around the neighborhood and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just put a link in the chat. You can buy these from this
Ultralight.
company. They're called let's see, the ZE. Oh, no, I don't know what the company is. Composite FX. They're called, and you can buy a one-man little helicopter. They don't show pricing, funny enough. I kind of hope they do. Let's see. No. Oh, here we go. Kit, if you put it together yourself, $55,000. If you want to have a finished one, $70,000. It's not really that bad if you think about what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it's not bad at all.
I'd fly that.
I think I found a new way to get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't tell me you could possibly take on a fleet of enemy helicopters. I'm sorry.
Well, that's
No,
true.
sir.
Yeah.
true.
No, probably not.
I don't even know. I think there's probably local and state law that would prohibit me from even owning one of these. I don't think.
Oh,
I'd be
absolutely.
allowed.
I'm sure. There's. I mean,
I'm
we got
sure.
kind of laws
Yeah,
about
I'm sure
drones and
HOA
shit.
would probably.
Oh yeah, I didn't even
Probably
think
not.
about the HOA. They'd probably be super pissed. They don't
Yeah.
even like
At
drones.
least,
around here.
at least it doesn't require a runway. You don't need to.
That's true. I'm trying to think of where I would land it.
Anybody else notice that we have an entire James Bond movie where James Bond never drives a car?
Hold on.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he gets driven around, doesn't he? Yeah, everybody
He flies,
drives him around.
he flies two different aircraft and he paddles boats quite a bit. But
You're right.
I think driving will be pretty boring after flying that composite effects.
I am here to say, if you ever pull up in a 2000 GT and want me in it, I will ask you to move over so I can drive. That car
That thing's
is
yes, love it.
insane.
Oh yeah, that's
that
the
car-
convertible that Aki picks up in. Yeah.
Not a convertible. It's a car with no roof. You
Oh.
cannot convert that into
So
a topped car.
It's permanently convertible.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. That's
Oh,
a
I never thought
no-roof
of that.
car.
I wonder what do you call a convertible that never converts? Like no top, just no top?
A topless
Car with no
Topless
roof.
Aki roof.
And you can buy one, by the way. I went and looked around, like, could you buy a 67 Toyota 2000 GT? Yes, you can. It's going to cost you more than $1 million
Good
to
Lord.
buy that car.
Oh, is that all?
Good Lord.
Sure.
No wonder they
Why you
used
can buy
the projection screen.
FXs.
Yeah. Yeah, you pay a lot less for this little helicopter deal. And I'll bet, Dunaway, you live down in a lawless, freaking the South down there. You can buy one of these, get this going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, let's go. I'll fly up to no time. We'll be there.
Yeah, get one of them. But what do they care? South Carolina's like, sweet, get more tiny personal helicopters. They don't care.
Yeah, it's the real outback down here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yo. Let's see. I also wrote down, no way he gets away with the surgical mask that long. So when he takes the role of the guy who got injured or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he carries him all the way back and only finds out who he is at the very end. Come on, dude. You're the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, The Rock's grandpa. You're smarter than this.
Yeah, come on, Rock, Grandpa Rock. Come on.
I just could not get over that. And the movie, once you get past that point, though, you realize this movie is going to hand wave a lot. It's going to just say, yeah, well.
I did like the space stuff, though. Like, I was surprised at how effective the capsule stuff was.
The big mouth.
Obviously,
I like
never going to happen.
That.
But exactly. Like it clipping the George Clooney, that astronaut, basically clipping his line.
That's a great way to put
what's
it.
going on?
Oh, man. That one part of gravity. We could snip. See you later.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love that. I did love it, and I hated it because it was anytime you do something, it's like, we got an action movie, action. And it's like, what are we gonna do now? Time for some space stuff.
Well, space is popular right now.
Down.
Okay, we can do space.
Yeah. I mean, in the pantheon of these films, is this one considered like a favorite or a lesser than? Like, I don't know what the consensus from Ian Fleming / Bond fans is.
I like reading the message boards. The real diehards for James Bond they don't like the movie, for a lot of the inconsistency we've been talking about, but also because Sean Connery doesn't like the movie. Sean Connery didn't want to do it. He didn't want to. There are all kinds of things. He, like in the book, you're constantly being led right up to the brink of Bond dying, and it's actually Blofeld who ends up dying in the book. And Sean Connery kind of wanted that, and he wasn't getting it, and so people are like, who cares about that movie? And also, the next movie is such a return to the way James Bond is supposed to be. I'm putting that in air quotes, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know. It's a big mixed bag, this thing.
Yeah.
On Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 74%, number 12 ranked in their ranking of the James Bond films, with Goldfinger being number 1, From Russia with Love, Dr. No being number 2 and number 3. The 3 we've watched before, which I would agree are better. Actually, Thunderball's up there too, number 6. Before you get to Majesty's Secret Service, the next one we're going to watch has an 81%, number 9 on the list.
Okay.
I like how they ended this movie with "Stay tuned, Bond will be back."
Yes. Bond will return on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Like, they don't even say "in" on Her Majesty's Secret Service. They say Bond will return.
Because that's weird to say. Say it with the in.
It is. Yeah, Bond will return in on Her Majesty's Secret Service. You have to pause to make sure people know that it's a title, but it is.
If you put a quote, if they put it in quotes, they could have done it. They should have done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would have worked. But
I did like, by the way, some funny wording. I liked how Blofeld called his frickin' fish tank, called it piranha fish. Look, it's filled with piranha fish.
Piranha fish. Oh, so it's not the other kind.
Right.
I love that.
Piranha cats.
Yeah.
And then Tanaka at one point says, well, when you become a Japanese, you will.
There was a lot of stuff he said that threw me. Just made me roll my eyes.
Sexy. She's very sexyful or something like that.
Sexyful. Yeah, I
that's
captured
right.
that.
She's very sexyful.
I capped that one for later. I still don't know what it means.
Yeah. And then a shot between the legs.
Oh, that
Favorite
shot.
song.
That was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
What were they doing there? And the whole men first, ladies second stuff. Like this movie was wearing that shit on its sleeve.
Oh God, yeah.
They were into it.
Let's see. Just go through some of the notes. Do you think the casting call for opening credits includes the line "must have big nipples"?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I kind of got that impression.
Maybe. I mean,
because they make sure, just to make sure these are not women wearing bodysuits. We have them positioned so perfectly you can see that they've got nipples. They are naked as they're dancing.
They're like eraser heads on your pencil in those shots.
They are, yeah.
Sticking way out there, making them work in the coldest of conditions. Like warm that room up. Let those women have normal nipple time.
Right, exactly. Come on, can we turn off the air conditioning?
Who sings the thing? Who's the main theme?
Nancy Sinatra.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
These boots are made for walking. Her only other real big hit. That one song she did with Frank called "Something Stupid."
Oh, I don't.
That's all harmony vocals.
Okay. Is it really called "Something Stupid"?
Yeah, it's and then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like "I love you."
Okay, that one. That's kind of the era.
Password.
That's the era I didn't like. Oh yeah, that's the password.
Really?
You just gave the password away.
I just gave away the password. Damn it! Oh,
the stupid password.
I think it's really interesting that we have different reactions to the song. Like, well, it's interesting just that we discuss the songs because these movies all have that original song at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And we even we're even having a discussion about it, right? Like you're not having a discussion about Star Wars movie songs or whatever.
Right.
But I think it's really interesting we have these different results because I wonder if you, Scott, in disliking this, are being affected by all of the better songs that came later.
Probably, yeah.
There's so many
or
good
before, for that matter.
better.
I think the last one was better than this one. I can't even remember what it was, but I liked it.
Thunderball was the last one.
Was that the last one we did?
Right?
Yeah.
Oof.
I liked that. I liked it better than this.
Strikes like thunderball. Yeah, Tom Jones.
Yeah,
it's not the worst of all of the James Bond songs. It's just, I mean, what does Thunderball mean? What does that word mean?
This one just didn't feel like it had anything to say. I don't know. It just felt normal or something to me.
It's so many people rank the themes. It's hard to find like which one is considered to be the definitive list. But Variety magazine, I don't know where they came up with the list, but Diamonds Are Forever, Shirley Bassey, and then Goldfinger, number 1, number 2, Dr. No, which was just the instrumental John Barry theme, and then You Only Live Twice, number 4 on their list.
Oh, okay.
Which is insane. I'm sorry.
Live and Let Die. We Have All the Time in the World, which is the next one we're gonna see.
To not have the Adele song in the top 10 even is just, this list is garbage.
It's there's actually 2 from On Her Majesty's Secret Service in the top 10 because we're not going to get lyrics in the next movie that we watch.
Yeah.
We get the lyric song comes at the end, Louis Armstrong song.
And I realize even trying to rank these is weird, right? Because like, where do you put a song like For Your Eyes Only? It's just a pop song. It's a good
song
pop
that
song.
Happens to be exactly.
So do you put it at the top or the bottom? I don't know.
And in their list, GoldenEye is way higher than I'd put it. Listen, I love Tina Turner, but that song doesn't belong at number 14 over The Man with the Golden Gun or the Chris Cornell thing.
Agreed.
The garbage one, even the Aha song. Sorry, it's a great Bond song.
It's a great song in general.
Daylights.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a. I like the Billie Eilish one. I'll admit to that. I thought that was cool. And
No Time to Die.
Actually, my favorite Billie Eilish songs are both from movies. That and the Barbie song are really good. I like those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know
we should come up with the 4 of us each individually rank the James Bond theme songs, just see where things are parallel.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. I'd do that. I mean, that feels like a fun little side project.
I'll make a little custom ranker for us.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we can we can post it in Discord and stuff. Let people have a say on it. I think that's a good idea. Let's see what else. Anybody got anything else you want to talk about?
I wrote he looks more Romulan than Japanese.
picks him up exactly what I thought.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
I think the Romulans might have been based on James Bond in a kimono. Like,
Yeah,
so,
you're right.
Might have been.
so there's so much trivia, guys, about Sean Connery fighting with people, fighting with the local public, the photographers, and everything. But the one that really stuck out to me was that the producers, whenever Sean Connery appeared in public in Japan, they just wanted him to wear a damn toupee, and he wouldn't do it. And he was just like, no, I'm not James Bond. I am Sean Connery. I am not going to wear the toupee while I'm in public. And so they got all these bodyguards to try to prevent photographers from getting pictures of Sean Connery in Japan with his balding natural hair. And it is just so like, wow, what a sideshow, for the production of a movie.
Yeah. I didn't know about that. Was he real weird about his I don't know, covering up his balding little spot back there or whatever?
No, I'm saying he wasn't. He was just like there's this whole bit, this whole like piece of trivia about him going out in public wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt and saying, I'm Sean Connery. I am not James Bond. And so that's why the producers made sure that the movie poster said Sean Connery is James Bond.
Yeah. Sounds like to me we're entering a phase of Sean Connery's life where he is starting to feel very typecast and doesn't want to feel that way anymore.
Yeah. That's why he's about out here. He's almost done by this point.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm out.
And I don't blame him. I get it.
Nope.
You don't want to be Captain Kirk for your whole life.
And I just want to say again, his performance in the movie, you could never tell that he was at odds with the filmmakers.
No, he never phoned it in. Even in a movie that was so wrought with problems like his final film, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, he still did the work and got, he did what he was called to do.
Absolutely.
You got to have some respect for that, I think. Well, there you go.
One more piece of one more 2-word note in my notes. Fruit Ninja, just because we actually do get a Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, because he went whack on that watermelon.
Like a watermelon. It's like
weird.
Everybody else fights other ninjas, but this guy only rates as high as slicing up a watermelon.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh!
Can you imagine being the support staff at Ninja Training School?
No.
Yeah, I thought about like what it is. Oh my gosh, they must have 100 people working tirelessly to make a straw mannequin that just gets dissected in an instant. Like, I got to make another straw mannequin.
That reminds me, I forgot to tell you guys.
I love the introduction of all the students there because Sean Connery is just talking to Tanaka, and all of a sudden, I'm at a ninja school.
Exactly. It's
run
like
down
50
the hill.
ninjas all screaming and running at the camera.
You didn't see us, did you? We're a bunch of ninjas. That's why.
It still sounds anti-ninja to me when they do that,
Yeah.
They never behave like ninjas. Ninjas aren't breaking their heads on freaking giant blocks of ice. Who does that? Not ninjas.
No. But then I do and now we'll go look at my modern ninjas, and they've all got guns.
Yeah, guns. Yeah, that's what makes a modern ninja. I love that so much.
Man,
every trainee wearing a gi was covered in dirt. They had been rolling around in the dirt. And so I was expecting the gun shooters to not be dirty, but they were dirty too.
Yeah.
They were dirty too.
Plenty dirty.
So dirty.
I forgot to tell you this.
Gross.
This is what grossed me out. Well, guess. See if you can guess. What do you guys think grossed me out? Because to me, I'll tell you, it was early, and it's a thing that always grosses me out. In film or not, when I see someone like that, my brain immediately goes, ugh, that's that thing. And I don't want to give it away, but if that helps.
Interesting. Oh gosh. Really shaggy chest hair. I mean, I can't imagine that would do it.
No, that would bother me. If they go to and they went, it was in Japan. If that helps, it was in Tokyo.
Japan. Okay, so not really early in the movie.
No, early-ish. Early. It's pretty early still.
Okay. I don't know, man. Because there's a lot of fingers near mouths and stuff. But
yep, none of that. I'll just tell you, it was anytime I see a sumo wrestler's thong, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. They're out there doing,
because they don't clean it themselves.
Hell no.
They have somebody do it for them. Yeah.
Exactly. They don't clean.
Probably even somebody pulls it out of their butt crack too.
Someone's job is to collect all those things.
To pick them up off the locker room floor.
They probably have names for it, like chode stash or sash or something like that. That's horrific. Ugh. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I hadn't even given it that much thought, but now it's even grosser. So there it is. Gross sumo thongs. All right. Let's get to some clips of a clippage nature. All right. A clippy type clippage. And we'll start with this weird conversation here.
Why do Chinese girls taste different from all other girls?
You think we better, huh?
No, just different. Like Peking duck is different from Russian caviar.
Okay. I don't know.
But rude.
Yeah, Chinese girls apparently taste like Aquafina.
So obnoxious comedy, then, is what you're saying?
Yes.
I like her sometimes. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, no, I love her. Yeah.
I like her a lot in some things.
Yeah, but that is like, I was watching that scene. I'm sitting there saying to myself, I'm not sure. Is this racist? Is this not racist? I can't tell. I'm not 100% sure. It's just awkward and uncomfortable. But you cut off the line like he says, like you had in there, well, it's like Russian caviar versus Peking duck. I like them both. And she says, I give you good duck.
Yes, I love that. That was a terrible scene.
I hated that. I hated all of it. All right. Now, something about your being dead. Oh, yeah. Here you go.
Well, now that you're dead, perhaps some of your old friends will pay a little less attention to you for a while.
I'm having a little joker there. Okay. I love this Japan. So now we're in the sumo wrestling. I love these ring announcers in Japan. These are amazing. Check this guy out. I would have loved some subtitles.
That was the announcer at the sumo match, right?
Yeah, the sumo ring run.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's actually what the subtitles would be.
I want to know what he
said.
You
got to take your pinky finger, touch your lower teeth, and then pull down, and then start talking.
Oh my gosh!
So then you had this going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. He sounds like he's dying. All right. Here's the password.
I love you.
I have a Kanye buy.
Oh, okay. Let's go get the Kanye
I have a
buy.
Kanye buy.
Here's Tanaka doing Tanaka things.
Your most vital contact will be Tanaka.
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 I may have repeated that.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Charles Gray.
Yeah, Charles Gray's in this.
So that's Charles Gray, who was probably most famously also in the Rocky Horror Picture Show as the narrator. It's just a jump to the left. That guy.
Really?
Yeah, and because that's right before he gets stabbed in the back mid-sentence, right?
Yeah, which is not how this works. I don't think. I think if you got stabbed in the middle of the sentence, you'd go, and you'd move forward, and you'd have all kinds of stuff. I hate that.
We'll see him later. Oh,
Can't
go ahead. We'll see him later in the James Bond series as Blofeld.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really interesting.
Yeah.
He takes over that role in the second to last Blofeld appearance.
I do love a guy that can take a swing to the knee when he's got a fake leg. I like that. Something about it.
Yeah.
Here's a sword sound that was kind of cool in the air. I like that. Sounds like something tear you up. Some good advice about girls.
The one thing my honorable mother taught me long ago was never to get into a car with a strange girl.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah, never get into a car with a strange girl. Wait a minute. His grandmother? That would have been cars. I mean, this is 1964 or something.
When vehicles are invented, don't get into one with a strange girl.
You know, the ancient Japanese saying, don't get into a car with a girl. Or a car, with a strange girl. All right. How do you feel about me?
How do you feel about me?
I love you.
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
I hate the password thing. I love you.
What about code words later on in the movie too? Yeah. Where they were going, we put in code word imminent.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah,
that's the code word.
Yeah, imminent. Imminent's your code word. They have really bad security password stuff in this movie, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I really like that the whole point of "I love you" as a passcode is that it causes Moneypenny to say it to James Bond first, and then he says it back.
Yeah.
I think that's a fun little moment.
He doesn't say it back. Well, he does the Han Solo.
Right, he's supposed to say it back, right? And so we're all teased into remembering that they have some kind of relationship. But what I hated was this script included dozens of lines where you're inside Blofeld's secret lair, and there's a PA announcer telling you what's happening. Each like open bay doors, opening bay doors, open bay doors. That thing that drove me. I was muting this movie. I was so
how many
sick
people
of
do
that.
they need to have pass it down the line to shut the bay doors? That was bad.
Right.
Too much. They were trying to
Shut
make
the
it
bay
seem
doors.
like a big technical thing, but I think they overdid it.
And they were like describing everything really blatantly, prepare to launch devouring rocket, preparing to launch devouring rocket, like, and saying that really loud. Like, what? Why are you doing that?
That was a bit much.
That was an excessively long scene, and the wedding was an excessively long scene.
Yeah, that went too long. That went too long. I may have zoned out a little during the wedding. Just a little.
Played a game of Fruit Ninja while that was going on.
Like real weddings, I tend to zone out on them.
Yeah.
Well, and what did it get them? The whole point of the wedding was that it was supposed to make him pass for Japanese more because he needed to sneak into a fishing village.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so his new wife was going to be the agent basically that snuck him in. Mm-hmm. But then as soon as he gets there, they find out where the volcano is. Like within hours.
It's basically to get him from the boat to her house.
Her house. Yeah.
It is goofy hat and scarf and
Yeah.
I shaved my chest hair for this.
In the book, you spend the whole book expecting James Bond to die at the end. Like
a little bit.
Everybody is predicting his death. He's predicting his own death. And so him getting married is supposed to be this really awesome symbolic thing. And he actually is getting married. Like they're making a deal of it, because he wants to settle down with this woman that he's in love with.
Yeah.
And it's just so like, I don't know. It's so thrown away in this movie. Like, let's have a wedding.
I agree with
let's
that.
start by having 3 brides come walking up wearing the exact same wedding dress. Yeah. And 2 of them are older. Like,
2 of them do have a face like a pig.
Yeah, the one. Also, I thought he said face like a pig, but I don't think any of those people look that bad.
No, they didn't. Yeah.
I think Tanaka's.
But you do get the reaction face with Sean Connery, like, oh God. Not her. Oh God, not
that
her.
one. Please, God, not her.
They should have shown their faces going, that's a white man with darkened hair and eyebrow problems. Like, that is not a Japanese man I'm marrying. Come on. Didn't believe it. All right, he likes sake.
I like sake.
Now, he says sake.
I like sake.
Sake. He likes sake. Here's all I could think about when I heard him say that.
I like sake.
I like turtles.
I like sake.
I like turtles.
That's all I could think of.
Hilarious.
That's all I could think of. And also sake. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Sake.
You're supposed to be an expert.
Apparently, the transformation didn't include any pronunciation lessons.
Yeah, or his time at Cambridge.
I wish you could.
He claimed at Cambridge they learned all kinds of languagey stuff, and Japanese was one of them. Sake? Yeah. Come on.
Sake.
Find somewhere. Find Sean Connery saying the word film and stick it in there.
Really?
Yeah. So he says, "I like film sake."
That would be great.
Like the hard part is finding that film part. But if someone knows where to get, someone send me a message. Let me know where I can get it. I'll do that. Sake.
I like sake.
All right. We should use that for other stuff. You know what? I'm hanging on to it. Yeah. That's a clip we're keeping. All right.
Absolutely.
When do men come? Oh, geez, this thing.
Oh my God.
This whole thing.
I don't like how you stopped that conversation.
I know. That actually, I think that's where the explicit tag is going to come from, not from the clip.
No, you're probably right. But here's their cheesy bullshit.
Rule number 2. In Japan, men always come first. Women come second.
Now, I'm just going to assume that it's the less carnal thinking.
Or if I have anything to do with it, they won't come at all.
Right. Oh God!
And if you're Sting, you got to wait a month or whatever it is. Sorry, tantric lovers. I don't know who's out there listening. Who cares?
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. They all just unsubscribe. Damn it.
Yeah. Here's another one. You talked about this earlier. Here it is.
She's very sexiful.
Sexiful. Come on.
Sexiful.
Oh, great. She's very sexiful.
Was he trying to say successful or sexy or both? Maybe that's
like
what
a
that
combination
is.
of sexy and beautiful.
Right.
Sexiful.
You're successful at being sexy. You're sexy.
Oh no, I think beautiful, a combination of beautiful and sexy, not successful and sexy.
Oh, because that would be successful.
Successful, yes.
You've
And
had a
play
lot
the
of
clip again.
success here.
Play the clip again. It sounds like he's Turkish.
All right.
She's very sexable.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
sound Japanese. He never did. Whoever did the ADR
why,
on that.
why go to the length of making James Bond explain that he got an A+ in Oriental languages at Cambridge?
Yeah.
And then he never says a word of Japanese the rest of the movie?
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, the one word he says, sake.
Yeah,
is
sake.
incorrect.
I don't know if you've heard about his sake pronunciation.
I like sake.
It's bad. All right, here's a great anti-smoking message for all you kids at home. Don't smoke, and here's why.
You should give up smoking. Cigarettes are very bad for your chest.
Yeah, they're bad for your chest.
Sets him up to look at Helga's chest.
Yeah. What, Scott? Isn't there a more line there? Like there's
There
there's
might
a
have been, I
great
don't know.
woman's tits joke.
Is there?
Right,
I don't remember that.
Yes, yeah.
A great woman's tits joke? Is that
Yeah,
how you
like he's
described it?
looking at a woman and he says something in response to that, like about how he likes a good
yes,
chest.
Helga says Mr. Osato believes in a healthy chest.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And then James Bond looks at her and says, "Really?
Really?
Really?
Really? How big are your nipples? Fascinating. All right.
you.
I put his voice is the best thing.
This can only be for children. Don't use it, Bonsan. Take my helicopter instead.
That guy rocks.
I loved it when he was when he was just like cutting him deep, man.
Yeah.
This is what children do.
The Fisher Price Little People's helicopter."
Yeah. I love it. All right. Here's something about removing prisoners.
Remove the prisoners.
Remove the prisoners.
Remove the prisoners.
Remove the prisoners.
I'm repeating a lot of things today because they repeted
I
a lot
love
of
it.
things. They kept saying shit over and over. It was hard not to notice that. All right. I'll be in my apartment.
I shall be in my apartment.
Okay.
Everything I say is
Getting-
talked like this.
Yeah.
Getting silly putty out of my eyebrows.
I don't know
This
why
is-
anyone still works for me. I throw them all in the piranha fish tank. Yeah.
You're
You failed me
demonstrating
again.
you're demonstrating that this is peak Austin Powers. This is the movie
It is.
that
Yeah.
it draws the most from.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's just funny because I'd never seen it, but I still got the point of what they
Yeah,
were
because there are
riffing on.
enough other things in other James Bond movies that rehash these things. I mean, this isn't going to be our only Donald Pleasance Blofeld, I don't think. And
Yeah, I did two or
there's
three
got to
more.
be another one that's got the equivalent of the dolphins with frickin' lasers on their heads.
Oh yeah, dude. I expect you to die. That's a different guy, but that's what I always think
Yeah.
of. Is like, yeah, these are
Yeah.
meant to be. I mean, Blofeld. Literally, the name sounds like what you're trying to make. It's a very Blofeld character type.
Exactly.
Handling equipment, another euphemism. Here, enjoy this one.
I must congratulate you, gentlemen, upon your superb equipment.
We congratulate you, sir, upon the way you handle it.
Yeah, that seems a
Jeez.
little.
So
Yeah,
there's
that
a little,
whole scene.
There's some
That-
butt stuff going on.
Yeah, butt stuff.
Yeah.
Butt stuff.
That felt like that was that scene felt like that's when they decided to create Austin Powers. It's like, this is so over the top
Yeah.
sexual innuendos that this is it. This is the movie we want to make.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Kill Bond when?
Kill Bond! Now!
Now. Okay.
Now.
Now. Even when
Wait for it.
when he said to kill Bond and they didn't, right? They just didn't
Yeah.
succeed. Now he's got access, or he has Bond with him for later for a big period of time. You
Yeah.
go ahead and kill him then.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, he has so many opportunities. He's holding a gun in one hand and the cat in the other. He could absolutely kill Bond with one of those two things.
So dumb, dude. That part was dumb.
And I just want to return to something that Ibit just said. Sorry, this is Donald
Sure.
Pleasance only.
Oh, it
James
is?
Bond
Oh
movie.
no, really? We don't get? I thought we got another Donald Pleasance.
I thought we
'cause
got
he's-
at
very-
least a
Oh,
couple.
The very next
you know-
one.
Yeah, we got him like he was the lower half Blofeld for the last 3 movies or 2 movies.
Right.
Oh, was he? And that's why we.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was
That's why.
sure he
That's
was.
why I think of him as being a multi-Blofelder.
Why do you think they never showed him? Was there a point to that to only show him finally in this one?
Just a air of mystery kind of thing.
Okay.
You know, I guess they.
I was
knew-
glad they showed him because it was really impactful. Because at this point, we had been doing the chest down only thing that it was starting to become kind of silly, right? And when they show him, it's like, holy shit, that was effective. I didn't think that would work.
And what's great is we get him like peeking around from one of his henchmen's butts.
Yes,
basically.
Yes,
I have it right here.
He's got that weird bag scar around his eye. Hello,
yeah,
over here. Hello.
Oh yeah, it is a butt, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a chair for a minute, but you're right. He's looking.
No, it's like basically, Bond is just staring at this guy's crotch, and Dr. Evil Blofeld comes around and says, "Peekaboo."
Right.
I really like
Let me
him.
give you an
great-
awesome piece of trivia here.
Go.
So the first couple of times you see Blofeld's hand on the cat, that's not Pleasance. That's an actor named Jan Werich. Jan Werich was originally cast by the Saltzmans to play Blofeld in this movie. And then when they got him on set, Broccoli and the movie's director called him a poor, benevolent Santa Claus.
What? Whoa! That's heavy-handed, man. That's hardcore.
And
cut me deep, Shrek.
They hired Pleasance because Pleasance would make the trip to Japan, and immediately they were able to resume with him in the role.
And I'm going to correct myself again that I thought Donald Pleasance did the Blofeld thing before in Thunderball and From Russia with Love, and it wasn't him either.
He wasn't.
It was the only Pleasance we get.
It was Anthony Dawson's hand and Eric Coleman's voice.
What the hell?
Oh, I'm so bummed.
I am too. He's perfect for this. Just keep using him. What's the deal?
And we had a lot of them. Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say, as much as I love the next James Bond movie we're going to watch, it does have Telly Savalas as Blofeld, and he's the worst possible casting.
But I'm excited about it though because it's Telly Savalas and he sucks, and that's great. Yeah. Let's
and
get
isn't
in there.
Telly Savalas the version that gets dropped into? Who we only see the back of his head, but he's the one who gets dropped into smokestack.
No, that's because so Telly Savalas only appears in On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Okay.
And then we get an actor named Charles Gray in Diamonds Are Forever. And then a different actor who's made up to look like Charles Gray, basically, at the beginning of For Your Eyes Only.
Okay.
Because they never show his face. They do show the back of his head.
You get the back of his head, and of course the cat who's intelligently jumps off his lap before he gets
the cat
his wheelchair gets.
The cat finally gets some freedom in his life. That poor cat.
It's too bad that they didn't know, like in 1961, that this was all going to happen. Because if they had just cast one person. Right? Like if they just cast Charles Gray to play this character and had him in every movie, it would have been a super villain,
Yeah. I just think you have Pleasance. You have one of the great actors of his generation. What are you doing? Keep him.
You got to use him more. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to see The Great Escape eventually because I love him in that.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. Ninjas. That's right. That's exciting stuff. Ninjas. For your Saki. All right, here's a special baby rocket.
This is our special baby rocket.
This sounds so stupid. How can you take that seriously? It's like, here's our special baby rocket.
Baby rockets. For smoking.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought for killing babies. When you absolutely need to rocket a nursery.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a rocket made from babies.
Oh, even worse. Oh, great. We'll get emails for that one. Here's this.
Is she pretty?
She has a face like a pig.
Jeez, just an ass. Just an a-hole.
Does that mean something different in Japanese culture?
Do you? Oh, why is that funny? I don't know why that's so funny. All right. Some good yelling from the ninja people. I just think ninjas are meant to be quieter creatures.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Tell me you captured the two fighting in a ring where one of them's going. I
don't know if I did. Dang it! I guess I'll find out if I did.
That was a good one, though.
That was good.
It sounded like a cat about to throw up.
Yeah, that thing they do. Ugh, I hate that sound. That sound is like a grab him quick sound.
Yeah.
Parents are. What's this? My parents are dead.
My parents are dead. Sit down, please.
Wow. All right. Okay. It's a strange little moment there with her. Here's how you tell somebody that the computer has more information. This is how they did it in the 60s.
A new update with target vehicle has been received from computers.
What a dumb
From
thing.
the computers?
Computers.
Tell me you don't understand technology without telling me you don't understand technology.
Yep, that guy right there. Okay, you got to say the name of your movie at least once, and they did.
You only live twice, Mr. Bond.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, nicely
I
done
hate
there.
that title. That's so stupid.
It's a pretty dumb
Such
title.
a long stretch. It's such a long stretch to get to the title. It's like, you couldn't think of something better than that.
Yeah. Well, it's the
not
book
even
name,
true.
so you got to,
But there was a deleted line too. I'm trying to find it where he says, "I plan on doing it better the second time around" or something. Nope. Here we go. You only live twice, Mr. Bond, and then Bond is supposed to say, "Well, they say twice is the only way to live."
Oh.
Oh.
That would have been
Wow,
better.
what a great singer.
It's better than what they did. They just said it and nothing else. All right, I wrote this down, and I don't know what I wrote. Gas, get over the side.
Oh yeah, because they're okay. So Bond and his brand new wife, he just married yesterday, are in a boat. They go into a cave. The cave is an entrance to Blofeld's lair, and so to protect it, they filled it with dangerous gas.
Oh, that's
And they
right.
just
Oh,
right
I thought he
into it.
farted.
Well, let's
No,
find out.
they-
I have the clip right here. Let's see what happens in this clip. Here you go.
Gas, get over the side, quick.
Dunaway was right.
Yeah.
Wow,
See, that's what
Dunaway.
I heard. That's what I heard too.
Yeah, there was a little fart, and he went, "Up! I farted. Get out of here, quick! You have no idea
Yes,
how bad
oh
this is
God,
gonna
get
get."
out. I had meat for lunch.
Had meat.
Meat.
It's those oysters, man. It's freaking oysters. I
Oh,
this
well, he
shit.
didn't eat them. He's like, "Well,
Oh yeah.
if we're not
I don't
having
guess I need
sex,
these.
I don't have any need for aphrodisiacs."
Yeah, he's so weird.
I love it that he tells her, jump out of this boat right now and swim underwater, and she does it. She is his ride or die. She follows him up a mountain. When he says go for help, she is about to embark on a solo quest that's going to take her 10 hours of hiking and then swimming in the ocean. And she goes instantly.
She's the hero of this movie. She's the hero.
Yes, I can't stand it that this movie is just like, oh, she's just an NPC doing a thing.
Yeah.
She is perfect for James Bond.
I agree. I liked her a lot. Kissy, you did your job. Nice to done. Here's an enemy. What
Also,
the enemy
don't
is?
kiss your Suzuki.
Yeah, don't kiss your Suzuki when it's running. You'll burn your lips. All right, here's this bit.
The enemy is blown up!
The enemy is blown up.
The enemy is blown up!
Those guys, the things they'd say from the space thing. The enemy is blown
Right.
up.
Oh yeah, Ultra NASA.
Yeah. Work a little more dialogue there, Roald Dahl, if you're gonna work on that. And I wrote this song sucks.
You only live twice.
Hard disagree.
Nah.
I don't know why it doesn't zing with me, because most of Bond themes, even the shitty one or ones that people don't like as much, I'm usually fine with, but that one, I don't know. So you know what? And I can't stand that duet you talked about with her dad.
Oh, really? So maybe it's a Nancy Sinatra. How do you feel about These Boots Are Made for Walking?
I also don't like that song. I
There
think it's
we
a
go.
Nancy
That's
Sinatra
weird.
problem.
Maybe it's a Nancy Sinatra problem.
Yeah.
I really like the lyrics of this song.
Uh-huh.
Because basically, the story of the song is that you live twice, and like one life that you live is like everything that you do and experience, and the other life is a life you live through love, when love suddenly appears in your life, and you have this whole other life with a person that you're in love with.
Oh, that's kind of
and
nice.
it's just like it's too good for James Bond.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, actually those lyrics are kind of nice. It's less about him dying twice, you know?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
your new life
Was it,
is love or whatever.
Robbie Williams reused it for Millennium, I think. Used the D, like reused just that intro throughout that whole song.
Oh. Is that why it's so familiar?
That might be why it's familiar, yeah.
Yeah, and why I'm cool with it. I don't know. Because I do like those bits of it in the movie were pretty good. And they didn't do too much. I was worried there's going to be a lot of stuff going on.
There was a little
bit, but it wasn't too bad.
How are you supposed to know you're in Asia unless you have that?
So that
Jeez.
stuff was all visual. That it was all visual. They didn't actually play that kind of music.
There was maybe one little riff toward the end where it sounded like you were mixing it, but yeah.
When we first get to Japan, there's someone being transported in a rickshaw in 1966.
Yeah.
Like, you know, one of the secret agents that are chasing James Bond is wearing a kimono, like at the in the first chase scene in Japan. You know,
yeah. I mean, yeah.
he goes to watch sumo. Why does he go watch sumo? Why? There's no reason
there
for
was
him
no
to go
reason
there.
for him to go.
It's flavor.
Yeah, just to remind you,
Local
he's in
flavor.
Japan.
Yeah.
He only sees 5 seconds of a match and then leaves.
Yeah, he sees enough to see
That's
guys
all you need.
Guys with giant thongs for 5 seconds and then got out of there. It was truly a waste. He had to go all the way into the locker room, go through a bunch of special swip swap, and then get tickets from like an actual sumo wrestler just so he could sit there for 5 seconds and say, I love you, and then get out of there. That's effed up. This meant, you know what? I like the movie less than I thought.
That's subterfuge.
If I think too hard about it, I don't like the movie as much.
Yeah, don't do that.
But if I don't think about it, I had a really good time.
Which is always like Dunaway's big point, right? Like Dunaway has been, the project of FilmSack has been to convince you to stop being so critical and enjoy the moment when you're watching a movie. And this movie has so many moments. So like there's so many, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when he goes up with Helga Brandt in an airplane for no reason, and then she hits a button that traps him with a board over his wrists. That is
and then he uses the karate he learned to chop it.
Right, yes.
So many moments.
Yeah. That whole training, come on.
Brilliant.
You need 2 more days, Mr. Bond. Like, no, you don't. Get out of here.
Nope, I'm instantly good at everything.
Yeah, I'm good. You're freaking, it's like the Matrix. You just put it in the back of your head and now you know Kung Fu. All right, let's get to this right here. It's the film site checklist. Suction cups would never work on that ceiling. Check. I stand by that.
Wow.
The movie is 0.25% Moonraker. Check. And finally, the men always come first. Check. Let's move on now to a soundtrack grade. No, Star Trek connections. There's got to be somebody. Pleasance, maybe. Did he do a thing?
We have one, but it answers the question: how does it feel to be perpetually uncredited?
Whoa.
So, in the beginning of the movie, we have a guy in Hawaii sitting in a booth, tracking spacecraft as they go over the Pacific.
Yeah.
That guy is uncredited. He does not get named in the credits. His name is Ed Bishop. Ed Bishop was a bit actor who delivers a couple of lines in the beginning of the movie he's Hawaii Capcom. He later appears in Star Trek the animated series as the voice of Asmodeus, again uncredited.
Asmodeus, you say?
Yep.
As Asmodeus, yeah.
Asmodeus.
Yeah, that's
we
the guy.
do count Star Trek the animated series for our Star Trek connections, and again he's uncredited. I would like to know what it's like. Well, how does this guy feel? You know, getting these jobs and using his talents, and he never makes it into the credits.
That's a shame.
Ed Bishop.
Yeah, Ed Bishop. Never forget. He's not with us either anymore, right? So whatever.
Oh
impact,
gosh, no.
Yeah, his impact is over. Whatever that impact was, it's done. Fair sales.
Biggest role, I think, is in 2001: A Space Odyssey. He's got a part in that movie. Does
he wear shorty shorts?
Oh yeah, everybody does. Yeah,
that's the rule.
If there's anything I've learned about submarines, and it continues here, they all wear shorty shorts. It's hot in submarines, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I understand. Can you imagine how gross a submarine would be after a while? Just down, you're closed in that tube, and everyone reeks, and I don't know, the Russians are on your tail or whatever,
and everybody's running around going, "Gas, get out!"
Yeah, nobody wants that.
By the way, there are a bunch, because we were watching all these James Bond movies, there's a bunch of film set connections in this movie. You know, we've seen Bernard Lee, Lois Maxwell, Desmond Llewellyn several times each. But Sean Connery just towers over everybody else. We've seen so many Sean Connery movies at this point. You would almost think he's never in good movies. You know, like
I mean, we all love Highlander, but nobody thinks Highlander's like he was slumming it in that kind of, right? That wasn't a prestige.
The Spaniard with a Scottish accent.
Yeah, getting his head whacked off at the end. Not even the main star of your movie. It was a weird time for him. You know, he hadn't quite hit what brought him back, really. Untouchables, I guess. That was like the big resurgence of we're going to see him all the time, and then they hire him for Indiana Jones, and he gets just better gigs.
Yeah, he gets The Rock, and
right.
From then
he
on,
thinks he's making awesome movies sometimes, like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He thinks he's really, he's going to make a hit.
that movie sucked.
Was that last? That was last for him, right?
That was last.
League of yeah. Oh, what a horrible way to go out.
For him, this is three actors now who I regret their final films, and in his case, he died, but his final film was that final film for Gene Hackman, who's not dead yet. But Gene Hackman's last movie was Welcome to Mooseport, which is a piece of shit. That movie sucks. And then you're right. The other one is who was the other one?
Raul Julia.
Oh, Raul Julia in Street Fighter 2. Yep, shit Retief.
Yeah,
never forget.
Right.
We've talked about this before, but for me, it will always be John Candy's Canadian Bacon because he deserved something. I don't know what could have. I don't know. But
more
Canadian Bacon is just not a good movie.
No, it's not. It's so bad. Or Wagons East isn't much better, by the way. Was that first? Was that last, or was Canadian Bacon last? I don't remember. What do I know?
I thought Canadian Bacon, but maybe it was.
Yeah.
Neither one of them is a great final
film.
film.
Wagons East is very, very bad.
Finish on Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, John, and we'll call it good.
Yep. All right, let's get to the social post. This is where in 280 characters or less, you guys sum up the film. I think we'll start with Randy.
You only live twice. It's a roll of the dice. Sometimes you spend weeks eating nothing but rice. You only live twice. A third life would be nice. So you could, let's just say, take some damned good advice. When a woman assassin hands you a knife while kissing you, take it and put her on ice.
Oh, man.
Wow.
It got dark.
Good advice.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. Did you hear that? There's another rhyme.
Well, I think you already said advice.
It continued on it.
Let's
more rhymes.
Move down
Vanilla
the line.
Ice.
Let's move down the line to Brian Dunaway. Brian Dunaway, what's your little thing here? What's your post?
It's you only live twice. Like an ultimatum daring your superpower rival to touch your rocket. Oh, I must congratulate you on your superb equipment. Very sexiful. Hashtag our special baby rocket.
You're killing me. Nicely done. Let's finalize this social post with the words of Brian Ibbett.
You only live twice. Thanks to this movie, my new universal password is I love you, but the I is an exclamation point, the O's are zeros, and the E is a racism.
Nicely done. Yeah, this is a very casually racist film. It doesn't mean much
Chinese
harm.
women taste.
Yeah, it's just a little creepy. Nice job, everybody. Let's move on to the alternate titles. This is stuff that was almost the name of the movie. First one was just too long, but it was almost Totally Convincing Japanese Man and Definitely Not a White Scottish Person. That was the name of the movie.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Or 14 Different Ways of Saying Sake. So there's that.
Yeah.
Sake.
Sake.
Look at that sake.
You just reminded me that I was so annoyed that they staged his burial at sea in Hong Kong. It just, no, absolutely not. If I know anything about James Bond, the character in the books, James Bond will absolutely be buried in Scotland. He will be planted into the ground in Scotland.
Yeah, why would it be anything else, honestly? Like that is ridiculous what they try to tell us there. Not very realistic. Let's do a realistic email, though. This is an email at filmsack@gmail.com from Jim, who on right around this time, 2017, sent me an email saying, you guys should do Swiss Army Man. So he sent me an email the other day that says, on 2017, I recommended Swiss Army Man. 6 years later, it took almost 6 years, ... Jim.
We got a backlog. What can I say?
Yeah, we have a backlog. And so, Jim, we're both glad that we did it, and also that you can now forget about it. You don't have to think about it anymore.
Also, I like for an objectively questionable movie to age a little bit before we sack it.
Yeah.
I like for us to have a little bit of perspective, A
little bit of time on. I think it probably helped with that movie for me. I really liked it. That's one of my favorites we've done, especially this year, but maybe ever. I really liked it. But I don't think I wanted to see that weekend one. That may have been not the film sack for me. Anyway, we also got a couple of texts here, 801-471-0462. First one is from an anonymous listener. It says, now that you have, how have you not sacked Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins?
No kidding.
Yeah. Sure, it wasn't a huge success that we got more movie adventures, but it was successful enough. Well, we don't base these decisions on success. Trust me on that.
Yeah.
No,
That's
definitely
been
not.
on our list for forever, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just found it on my watch list. I probably put it on there 10 years ago.
Yeah. It's been a long time, but I think it's still not streaming somewhere.
Yeah, we need there needs to be an app or a website that tells you as soon as something in your list is streaming. We just need a film sack alert list.
There is so Just Watch has a thing for that, but it's for it's for everything. So it's not specific film. I don't know how we would tie it to films.
Right. Like we need to put it on a alert me anytime one of these lists.
Right.
Or one of these movies on the list becomes available.
Oh, it's on just streaming. Like Scott's saying I can turn on alerts. It'll just alert me for everything in the list because they're available. Whereas I want them available for free.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Available, so rent and buy. Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
Streaming only would be a really nice toggle, but they don't have it right now. Yeah. Currently, Paramount Plus, Tubi, and Freevee all have Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins.
Oh, really? Paramount Plus.
Yeah. Tubi's not bad either.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Well, and don't worry about our upcoming list. A lot of streaming services have suddenly purchased a lot of old movies. It's a weird thing happening the last few months, maybe because of the writer's strike. I don't know. But I mean, our watch list, we have 55 movies that are now available on streaming that we're going to get to eventually.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm happy to hear there's stuff in the wings.
Yeah.
Also got this quick one here from Zach who says, "Hey guys," he says.
Big guy.
Lot of use.
Yep,
Does he have a lot of use and whys in there?
Yep,
Okay.
he says it's his best sloth voice. Zach says, I just had a thought. Maybe it's been said before, but what if for each Film Sack movie you have a listener/fan record the description of the fan or the movie that week and send it to you? Since the normal guy is busy, means Scott Fletcher. I forget his name. I know I'm a horrible fan, he says. Just a thought that the way listeners will feel a part of the experience, and it will change and add a little bit of variety each week's show. Keep up the great work, you movie pals, says Zach. I wouldn't be opposed to this if people wanted to go to IMDb and read the short little shorty thing and send
what
it in.
I think would be fun is if you went to the patrons and gave them the opportunity to record a standard track, and then you could take that and put the AI on it.
Oh, hilarious! So you give them a quote or something to read that gives a lot of ammunition to AI, and then base the AI on that person's voice.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I kind of like it. But yeah, if anyone, so to start things off though, if anybody wants to send something in for our next movie, which by the way is, it's no longer Throw Mama from the Train, is it? What is it?
It's Backdraft. We're going to watch Backdraft.
Okay.
Cool.
If anybody wants to go do a short, descriptive read, the main one they put up on IMDb of Backdraft and send it in,
You're going to get 100 of these.
Yeah, we'll pick our favorites. We'll mix and match. We'll just test it out. Let's see what the response is. People want to do it, great. If not, it's fine too.
There's going to be someone hearing this a week from now, and it's too late.
Yeah, right.
It might be. But then there's always this guy.
Hey, you only leave twice.
We always have him. We always have that guy. All right. That's it for your emails and such. Text as well. Text us at 801-471-0462 or email us filmsack@gmail.com. Like we said, our next movie is Throw Mama from the Train. I want to mention some patrons real quick. Oh, no, that's another thing Scott forgot to do. Let's go do that real quick while I find these names. Speaking of which, I just put up an episode about movies I think are perfect, and I did a list of them.
Oh, yeah.
The only bummer of it was it was right after I rehooked up all my microphone stuff, and there was a weird buzz I couldn't account for. So I had to remove it, but to do that, it gave it a little bit of a chunky flavor.
I'll tell you, we're always super hypercritical of our own stuff. I listened to it, and I didn't. I mean, if I listened for the buzz, I'd hear it, but it did not at all hinder the enjoyment of that.
I didn't notice a damned thing.
Yeah. Well, good. I mean, that makes me glad. It was less noticeable, I suppose. Oh wow, did we really get this many people since we last talked? I think we did. Okay, well, we got a list here to read.
Let's go.
Here they are. Here's who we got. Oops, I got to paste it in so I can read it. Hold on one second. Here we go. Okay, Lester Clark, Kevin Wheat, Travis Moore, Nick Blair, Fred Hampshire, Rick Schmidt, Ryan Yonk, Joey Image, we know him, Brian Robbery. Oh, geez, don't get caught. Jeffrey Johnson and Dan Chapman. Look at that group. That's awesome.
Yes.
Brand new folks in 1 week.
Because it's an
amazing.
awesome community.
Yeah, we have a great community. You guys are amazing, and it's how the show stays on the air. So if you'd like to support us, you can. You get host shows like the one I just mentioned that happen only for you on a monthly basis. I don't know who's next, but someone cool is. I don't know which. Randy, is it you? No, Brian. No,
me. I'm December.
That's right. You're December.
It's me. And holiday movies will not be what I do. It'll be about excellent concert films.
Oh,
dude.
I like this. There's a lot to choose from.
This could be a series.
I'm excited. Bringing your music and your movie loves together.
Exactly. Yeah, there are two that I put above all others, and so the trick is going to be figuring out, because I'd like to do maybe 3 or 4, and the trick is going to be figuring out what my 3rd and 4th favorite concert films are. And no, I haven't seen the Taylor Swift Eras Tour film yet.
No. Well, if you need to ask my wife any questions, she went. She really enjoyed it. They had fun. They went to the movie version of it, and they thought it was great.
I would think it would be fun, honestly. Yeah.
They really liked it. Well, that's just one of the benefits. There's many more. You get art in the mail. You get pre-show content every week. No commercials or ads of any kind ever. All those things. If you just go sign up today at patreon.com/filmsack. And again, a reminder, next week we are doing, what is it again? You just told me.
Backdraft.
Backdraft. That's it. I looked at Throw Mama from the Train.
That's what I call it when I fart and it comes up my back. What?
Now, it doesn't mean that we won't do Throw Mama from the Train at some point. Okay, everyone. Isn't that the one with Owen doesn't have a friend? Is that the one?
It doesn't have a friend.
I have a friend. Yeah, I love that one. That was great.
Yeah, so we probably ought to get around to that, but whatever.
We will. I promise we will. I need to watch that movie with you.
All right. I've been ages, so I don't know what I'm going to think when I see it again. I've seen it once, I think, in my life. Boy, that old lady though really stuck out. She stayed with me, and we'll see if she holds up as well in a future that is not Backdraft. So Backdraft next week here on FilmSack. It's going to do it for us. Filmsack.com is our website. Go check it out and find all the things I've talked about there, including links to all the services that host podcasts. And if you leave us reviews in those places, it helps us a lot. That's going to do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
Bon appetit.
We'll see you next time.
Get more at frogpants.com.
This is our special baby rocket.
Yeah.
Special baby rocket. This is how we make the babies.
And he said it in a way